Hi, my name is Bobby Reed. I'm representing a company called In the Moment. It's still at the very early stages. We've started developing the marketing materials and the product itself, and kind of doing this to get ideas and feedback on the project. I graduated from MIT in 2002, originally from the Sacramento area. Came back here, started a company called Sacramento Dec Solutions. We have 15 employees. We're an agency in Midtown. We do digital marketing and software development. My business partner in this venture is Brian Sychek. He's an 18-year political veteran. We met running the Gary Podesta for state senate campaign out of the Stockton area back in about 2004. He lost, but it was a good campaign, and we made a lot of good connections. So the problem that we have is political campaigns have no centralized ability to upload content, upload social media content, right? Political folks do rallies all the time, they do events, they do barbecues, they do fundraisers, they go walk door to door, they have a ton of volunteers that are supporting them. They have no way to get this content really back to the headquarters to post out as a sponsored post from or an official post from the campaign. Political campaigns can't leverage their volunteers and message to them directly. There is no sort of push notification that they really have. Some campaigns have tried to build their own app, but their apps don't do anything, and so people don't really download them. There's also no way to reward volunteers to do things, at least to track it. And so they miss opportunities capturing their opponents doing dumb things or stupid things. For example, if you all remember, a couple months ago, there was that race up in Montana. A congressman punched a journalist in the face or something like that, and then he still won the election. But if someone would have caught that on video or camera, that might have affected him, and maybe he would have lost. So we've reached out to various campaign managers and say, well, what do you guys do about your social media content? And one campaign manager says, well, at an event, my mom texts me some pictures and I post them on social media the next day. So that's kind of the process that they have. There is no process to get instant content right away. Campaigns have, $500,000 budget, right? It's not a small piece. It's not a small budget. Some of the bigger ones, you're looking at tens of millions of dollars to run a campaign. Larger campaigns have a dedicated social media team. Typically, they outsource that stuff. But the problem is these third-party social media teams, these agencies, they also can't get the content quickly that they want to and post it out as part of the official feed. So our solution is an app that users can download. You can join a campaign and you can basically upload instant content to that campaign. Think about it as a Dropbox or something like that. We can upload your content right away. You can also receive push notifications. You get a notification that says, hey, your political opponent's going to be on the radio today. Call in to KFBK and ask these 3 questions. So you're engaging your volunteers through push notifications. There really is no system right now in politics to do that. And then they can see your social media feeds. They can engage. The other thing is you can add a little bit of gamification. The more time people upload stuff, you can say, I'm going to reward my volunteers through a free ticket to the barbecue or whatever they're having. So be able to add that piece to an app. Then there's an admin app. So there's a user app and there's an admin app. It's really pretty common. We found in apps in general to have the admin app. And basically think of it as your own private Facebook feed. So you're flipping through your app, you're seeing the photos that people are updating. You can say, oh, that's a great picture. I'm going to post this out as my official corporate or my official campaign post. You can call out the folks that updated it or that uploaded it. You can add filters to it, so you can swipe and you can put your logo on there and say, hey, look at us, look at our campaign, and this is what we're doing. This is what we're out in the community. And then you can manage and view users' activities. So the more users that are engaged, the more that they're uploading, you can see who your active volunteers are. So our target industries are political campaign managers and political agencies that manage social media for multiple campaigns. There's a lot of companies out there that will work with a lot of the bigger campaigns that manage all their social media, push it out. And one of the big problems is they don't have current content. Future opportunity, we really see a good opportunity with social media communications managers. If you look at Dignity Health, if you look at Golden One, these are companies that they're out in the community, they want to promote their social awareness, they want to promote their corporate goodness, and they don't really have a policy or a plan to do that. We met yesterday with the Girl Scouts of Northern California. They also don't have a procedure or policy to do this. And then obviously marketing agencies, right? Marketing agencies, there's a lot of them out there that do social media, that get contracted out to it, and that's something that a target that we can go after in the future. Our pricing would just be $75 a month for up to 50 users. You get 10 gigs of space. The data will delete it after a week. But again, it's not very prohibitive for campaigns to sign up to. So we want to be able to go down to city council races, mayor races, all the way down the chain, not just work on the biggest campaigns. So what's our go-to-market strategy? We're going to focus on the political campaign decision makers. There's an association called the American Association of Political Consultants. We're going to go attend that and push our product. We're going to integrate with political platforms. There's platforms out there like Nation Builder and i360 that really kind of sell to this industry. And then develop partnerships with the digital agencies who focus on political campaigns. And lastly, we're going to try to remain bipartisan. It's actually very challenging in the political space to be a bipartisan company, but that's something that we really do want to focus on. Who are some of our competitors? A lot of people that do social media, they use Hootsuite, DrumUp, it's out there scanning for content that's already been posted. Dropbox obviously is a central repository, but you can't really privatize it. And then probably the closest thing is Shutterfly share sites. My son's soccer team uses this. They have a different business model where they want you to upload photos, but then they want to sell you pictures. We don't really want to sell you back your photos. We want a centralized repository. So I would say that Shutterfly share sites is probably the closest thing that we're mimicking. Here's some current demo customers that we've talked to. Again, some of these are corporate. We literally on the presentation yesterday, they said we should probably focus on an industry. So we'll probably do the political first. But we've talked to a lot of folks here in town that would be very interested in an app like this that would solve some of their communication problems. And then where we are currently. So we're marketing. The website's in development. It should be completed shortly. Our app is in development as well. We should have it ready by January 1st. And then we have resources to initially support this and grow. Kind of what we need are obviously more demo accounts. The more we can get the word out, the better. Any exposure, through the community. We're still looking for research in the social media space. The more social media experts, the more communication managers we can talk to, the better. We would still want to get feedback on the idea. And then we're interested in potentially going after funding. We've never gone after funding in the past, for a company, but it's something that we're interested in. And that's it. That's in the moment.
Thank you, Bobby. That's great. So we usually start off asking you how can this community help, but you just talked about that.
Right.
So I'm just going to go ahead and open it up to questions.
Yeah.
So I think I have several questions, so I'll try to keep it short. So in the current app, how far are y'all into making that? I guess your MVP that you're doing.
Yeah. So we built the back end app development starting either today or tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have y'all thought about, I guess, maybe utilizing some platforms that are already out there like Slack and making like a Slack bot or something that maybe might do this, that you can take advantage of all their features, file upload, private channels, push notifications, that might alleviate maybe some of your support and development time?
We have not. But that's something that we can look into. We typically build our apps in Xamarin, so we can build cross-platform apps quickly, or not as quickly as probably as doing a Slack bot, but that's the route we're currently going. But we're open to doing it quicker.
It might be worth just doing an MVP and saying, hey, what do you prefer, this demo that we have over here, or this Slack bot?
Right.
And see what they prefer.
Okay.
Do you have other questions?
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Hey, Bobby,
Yeah.
I wanted to follow up with some of Austin's questions. So you've got some, how much user experience feedback have you gotten on the app development?
We've worked with about 10 companies, kind of the ones on that list from before. Hey, what do you guys do? What's your feedback? In the political space, the consultants we've worked with seem pretty excited about it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd say 10 to 15 users.
Okay.
Companies that we
So
work
that's some good feedback. And
Yeah.
you did some mock-ups and kind of walk them through the screens, etc. Okay, that's good. And as you develop your app, I think it's important, as you mentioned, right? One of the next steps is to get some more feedback.
Yeah, we're constantly looking for feedback. That's real important to us. One thing that we really want.
Have you tested the subscription service, your $75 a month?
No, we've
Is that
looked.
something that you?
We're certainly flexible on that. We haven't set that price. That's what we think we're going to be. We look at the Hootsuites and all those others, and they're somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how we just came up with that.
Okay. And then overall, just some comments on the presentation. I thought it was really good, well put together. You echoed you communicated the problem statement, how your application helped the problem. Also the admin app, I think, is really critical to have someone scrutinize what content goes on. So overall, well put together presentation.
Yeah.
So you said that people like upload their photos and then the campaign can like brand it and repost them. So do people like give away their right to their photos when they upload them?
Yes, the photos will become owned by the campaign or whatever you're uploading to, yes. Yeah. Typically people post, if they're at an event, if they post at all, they post on their own personal feeds, right? And then the campaign has to go find that, or someone has to be searching for these personal feeds, and then they say, quote, thank you, right? But then it doesn't become property really of the campaign. And in this case, yeah, whoever you upload it to would then own the rights to those photos.
Do you think those people would want like some sort of monetary benefit?
No, because typically it's groups that they support. So when you have your volunteers out there in a political space, they're volunteering for you because they want to help you. So I don't think they have any, I don't think they really are concerned about owning the rights to it. Even if you look at a case like 1019 The Wolf, the country music station, people really want to actually more be recognized by an organization like that as opposed to really owning it. So if you post and you upload it and you got a concert or something like that, and they go out and say, oh, look at thanks Jen for posting on a feed. I'm glad you had a good time. I think the feedback that people get and the fact that they were called out by an organization that they really support has a lot of value to individuals. Yeah.
First, I think this is a fabulous idea, having been playing around with social media for over 10 years. It's really hard sometimes to find this kind of content, and I see the volunteers or even people who just support the campaign but aren't necessarily volunteers being really interested in doing this. And I love the idea that it's affordable enough for a city, a smaller political campaign, because there's big tools out there that I'm sure presidential campaign is using and that sort of stuff. And I think $75 a month that's for the campaign, and they can have up to 50 people. I think that that's a very reasonable price. So I really like your idea. I think that people will, I don't think there's going to be an issue with them wanting credit for their photo. But it would be kind of cool if, will they know like a Twitter user ID or Facebook?
Yeah, so when you create an account, you're going to put in your Twitter user ID, your Facebook ID. So when the campaign manager reposts or posts your post, it's going to call you out. It's going to utilize thanks and then your whatever handles you are, whatever platforms there are, right? So just like any of the social media apps, you can be able to select, I want to post on Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat. It's going to have APIs with all the other pieces, and so they'll be able to post on multiple channels. And whatever the user has uploaded as part of their social media channel, their social media accounts, it'll be able to call them out on those accounts.
So one idea I have, and maybe you've already thought about this, but a lot of times a campaign will use a hashtag, but is to automatically deliver to the platform content that's posted with that hashtag, if it has a photo or something like that.
Right.
Is that part of your?
Again, the campaign doesn't own that, right? And they can't control it. So if you use a hashtag and it's not a photo that they support, then they got to go back and be like, well, that's thank you, but this is not us, right? Campaigns really are very particular about the messaging.
Right.
The one exception is probably the presidential campaign. But most other campaigns are very concerned about the messaging and that, and so they really do want control. And so that's not actually very common in the political arena because they can't necessarily have full control over that.
Well, and I'm not talking about it being automatically reposted.
Right.
I'm just, like, I know on Hootsuite you can search based on certain terms.
Right.
I'm just thinking, instead of them having to use several tools, something that shows them what's going on with their hashtag as well as this, to have some visibility in the moment for a stream to show what is being posted with their hashtag, that so it's all there in one place.
Right. The current plan is to be able to categorize your volunteers So typically on volunteers, on a political campaign, you have some staff that I would say, are more trusted than your volunteers. And so if you can categorize your streams, so you can say, okay, well, I only want to look through my trusted volunteers because I know that they're going to upload good content. Or you can say, well, let me look through everybody because I'm bored, I got nothing to do, so let me just go through all this content that I'm flipping through. So at least as of right now, that's the current plan, is to be able to categorize your supporters and to be able to see who gives you better content.
Right, but these are supporters who have who somehow found out about In the Moment.
Right.
And have joined to do that. So I'm talking about a way within In the Moment. I mean, maybe you'll find people who you want to invite to join because you're seeing the content. So I'm just suggesting that there's some feature within In the Moment for whoever's managing the social media to see the feed for the given hashtag or search terms, and then be able to convert those people, invite those people, or to retweet or use their content.
Okay, yeah, no, I like that.
Other questions?
Yeah.
Just hearing all of this, I highly recommend looking at Slack. You can do just about everything in there, and with those bots, you can even just monitor. If you wanted to personally brand it, they have the ability just to monitor everything that's happening in that. So you can just leverage all that technology, put your brand in the front as your app, call it In the Moment, and add the features on the side. And it would save you a lot of time.
Okay.
Does Slack let you post to social media, LinkedIn, Twitter?
They probably have other bots that'll let you do that too.
Yeah.
So
I'm playing around Slack. That's a little detail, but yeah, I mean, the software's there.
They have a lot of little tentacles and you can do a bunch of stuff with it.
Yeah, I mean, if we could leverage that to go to market quicker, right, we're sure I'll be able to do it.
Any other questions? All right, well, thank you very much, Bob. Okay, so